A very warm welcome to all my dear students to Sudharma's Physics Classroom. We are on the chapter Motion from CBSE Grade 9. In the previous videos, we have already discussed about the definition of motion, speed, velocity and acceleration, and we discussed about average speed, average velocity, etc. So if you're watching this video for the first time, you have to go back and watch all those previous videos so that you get the idea about what we have discussed in the previous classes, because today's class is problem solving based on the previous discussions. So today's topic is numerical on speed, velocity and acceleration. When you come from grade 8 to grade 9, this is the biggest transition you can see in case of physics. You see a lot of numericals. Till grade 8, we were not having much numericals, right? Most of the things were theory-based questions. So here you will see a lot of questions and a lot of numerical and graph-based questions. Okay, so let's slowly understand step by step how to solve those types of numericals based on the equations we have studied. So let's start with the first question. This is a base question where we are going to convert the speed into different units. Okay. A scooterist covers a distance of 3 kilometers in 5 minutes. Calculate his speed in centimeter per second, meter per second and kilometer per hour. So first let's write down what is given there. Distance D is equal to distance is given as 3 kilometers. Distance D is equal to 3 kilometers and that is equal to how much centimeter, because the first question is we have to convert it into centimeter per second. 3 kilometers is 3 into 1000 meters. Conversions are very important because in many questions we get conversions from different systems of units to the other ones. Okay, so we are going to convert 3 kilometer into meters. To convert kilometers into meters, we have to multiply that value with 1000. So this is 3000 meters, but the question is to calculate in centimeter per second, right? We have to calculate that in centimeter per second. So again, this meter I have to convert into centimeter. So that's equal to 3 into 1000 meters. Meter into centimeter, again you have to multiply by 100. So 3 into 1000 meters, that's equal to 3 into 1000 into 100 centimeters. So careful on the zeros here. How many zeros are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means 3 into 10 power 5 centimeter. See why I am writing as the power of 10. This is a standard way of representing a number. So there is an advantage if you represent it like 10 power, right? So if you rewrite this value in the next step, there is a possibility to miss 1 0 or add 1 0, because we don't notice it sometimes when we rewrite the values in the calculations. So if you write it in terms of power of 10, and there the possibility to make the error is going to be less. Okay, so that is why I am writing this. If you are not comfortable with writing this in this method, you can write 3 and 5 zeros. That's also fine. Okay, now time taken is given. Time taken is equal to 5 minutes, but the first question is convert it into centimeter per second. So we have to convert this 5 minutes into seconds. How do you convert minutes into seconds? Multiply by 60, right? So 5 into 60 seconds, that is equal to 300 seconds. So the first question, we have to calculate the speed. Speed is equal to distance traveled by time taken. Distance traveled in centimeters, that is 3 into 10 power 5 centimeter, divided by time taken in seconds is 300 seconds. So now the calculation is going to be very easy. 3 and 3 cancels. In the denominator we have 10 power 2. So this is going to be 10 power 5 divided by 10 power 2. 100 is 10 power 2. So x raised to n divided by x raised to m, x raised to n minus m, right? So you might have already studied that in maths. So this is 10 power 5 minus 2. So this is 10 power 3 or 1000 centimeter per second. So the first answer is 1000 centimeter per second. Now, next what we have to do is convert it into meter per second. So already we have the value of conversion of kilometers into meters. So we have distance is equal to 3 kilometers, that is equal to 3000 meters, and time taken is equal to 300 seconds, right? Now what is to be done? Again, the equation is the same, right? So the speed is equal to, so speed is equal to distance by time. Distance is 3000 and time taken is 300 seconds. So 3000 by 300, that's equal to 10 meter per second. So we converted that into meter per second also. Now, what is the next one? Kilometer per hour. So we have to do the conversion of time into hours. For the question C, we have distance D is given in kilometers itself, 3 kilometers. Time taken T is equal to, what is the value given there? It's 5 minutes, right? So 5 minutes. So what is 5 minutes when you convert it into hours? 5 by 60 hours, right? So speed is equal to distance by time. So distance is 3 kilometer, time is 5 by 60 hours. So this is going to be 3 into 60 divided by 5, right? So when you cancel 5 and 60, you get 12, right? So 12 into 3, 36 kilometer per hour. So this is how we converted all these values according to the question. Now let me give you another trick to convert this kilometer per hour into meter per second. So kilometer per hour, you can note it down. Kilometer per hour into meter per second conversion, you can multiply that by 5 by 80. For example, here we have 36 kilometer per hour, right? So 36 into 5 by 18. So what happens? 18 and 36 cancels, and here we have 2. So this will give you 10 meter per second. Okay, so if you have to convert a value in kilometer per hour into meter per second, multiply that by 5 by 18. And if you have to convert meter per second into kilometer per hour, then multiply it by 18 by 5. Okay, this is very important conversion we require in most of the numericals. Okay, so convert kilometer per hour into meter per second, multiply it by 5 by 18. Quickly you can calculate the values in meter per second. Hope this will help you. So the conversions are understood. Now let's do another question. A car travels 30 km at a uniform speed of 40 km per hour, and the next 30 km at uniform speed of 20 km per hour. Find its average speed. So once again, car travels 30 km per hour at a uniform speed of 40 km per hour, and the next 30 km at a uniform speed of 20 km per hour. Find the average speed. So here the distance traveled in each interval is different. It's same, right? 30 km and 30 km, but their speeds are different. Then how do you calculate the average speed? Hope you remember the formula for average speed. Average speed is total distance by total time taken, right? Total distance we can calculate 30 plus 30, but total time taken is not given. They have given it in the form of speed, right? So let's calculate the time taken. Okay, so let's say the first speed v1 is equal to 40 km per hour, and distance, first distance, there are two distances, that's why I'm taking d1, that is equal to 30 km. So we have the formula, speed is equal to distance by time. So time t is equal to distance by speed. Distance by speed, distance is 30 km and speed is 40 km per hour. So we get the value as 3 by 4 hours. This is t1. Okay, because in the first case, first 30 kilometers, it takes a time of 3 by 4 hours. Now for the second case, v2 is equal to 20 kilometer per hour. 20 kilometer per hour, and d2 is equal to 30 kilometer. So we can write t2, the time taken for the second half, right? That is equal to, again the formula, distance by speed. Distance is 30 and speed is 20. So we get it as 3 by 2 hours, because here the values are given in kilometer per hour and kilometers. Now we have T1 and T2, right? So let's calculate the total time taken. Total time is equal to T1 plus T2. What is T1? 3 by 4 plus 3 by 2. So here we have 4 as the LCM. So 3 plus 6. So we get 9 by 4 hours. So total time taken is 9 by 4 hours. So total distance is equal to 30 plus 30. Here both are same. Otherwise also you can add it, whatever distance is given. So total distance is 60 kilometer. So average speed, formula is average speed is equal to, don't forget to write the formula, average speed is equal to total distance traveled divided by total time taken. Don't think that we can take the average of the speeds given in the question, okay, because many students does that. That is why I told it now. Because the formula for total distance average speed is total distance traveled by total time taken. So total distance traveled is 60 kilometers and total time taken is 9 by 4, right? So 4 goes to the numerator, so it's going to be 240 divided by 9, and the answer is going to be 26.6 kilometer per hour. Okay, so if a question comes like this, you have to first calculate the total distance if it is given in the question, or some other way we will be able to do the calculations. Okay, so when we solve the NCERT text back exercise, we will have more practice on these questions. Okay, so first you understand the method. See, in today's class, I try to keep all types of questions related with speed and velocity. Acceleration, we have already done some questions during the discussion itself. Okay, because more difficulty comes in the calculation of average speed and average velocity. Okay, now on a 120 kilometer track, a train travels the first 30 kilometer at a uniform speed of 30 kilometer per hour. How fast must the train travel the next 90 kilometers so as to average 60 kilometer per hour for the entire trip? On a 120 kilometer track, right? So this is the track which has a distance of 120 kilometer. Total distance is 120 kilometer. So the first 30 kilometers, initial 30 kilometers, say this is 30 kilometers, it travels at a speed of 30 kilometer per hour. This 30 kilometers, it is traveling with 30 kilometer per hour. So this is a 120 kilometer track, right? So how much is remaining there now? This much is 90 kilometers. So here with what speed it has to travel, that is the question. And we have to make sure the average speed is becoming 60 kilometer per hour. For the total trip, the average speed is 60 kilometers per hour. So total distance of the track is 120 kilometer. Initial 30 kilometers, it is traveling with 30 kilometer per hour speed, and the remaining 90 kilometers, with what speed it has to travel, that has to be calculated by us, and the average speed of the journey is given as 60 kilometer per hour. Now let's start solving it. So observe carefully what I am doing here. Okay, so average speed formula is V average is equal to total distance traveled, total distance divided by total time taken, right? So we have the V average given here, right? V average is 60. Total distance is also given in the question, right? That is 120 kilometers. Total time t we don't know. So here we can calculate total time taken for the journey, that is 120 divided by 60, that is 2 hours. From the initial data, we could calculate what is the total time taken for the journey. Now, let's think about the first half of this situation. Okay, so in the first half, the speed is equal to 30 km per hour and distance is 30 km, right? Now, we can calculate the time taken. What is equation for time taken? Distance by speed. Distance is 30 and speed is also 30. So I'm just denoting it as V1, D1 and T1. So in the first half, the time taken is going to be 1 hour. Understood? First half means what I meant is that initial 30 kilometers, it took 1 hour. Total time taken for the journey is 2 hours. Now let's think what can be done for the second part, right? We have to calculate with what speed the remaining distance has to be traveled so that the average speed is 60 km per hour. So for the next 90 km traveling, let the speed be x km per hour. Hope you are understanding. The average speed is x km per hour. Okay, and distance d is equal to 90 kilometers, and time, we don't know how much time it took, but we have the total time taken, right? So let's substitute this formula. X is equal to distance traveled is 90 divided by time taken t. Say, let's say it is t2 because it is in the second part, right? So t2 is equal to 90 divided by x. Okay, 90 divided by x hours. But total time taken for the journey, we have 2 hours, right? 2 hours is the total time taken for the journey, and initial 30 kilometers it has traveled in 1 hour. So it takes another 1 hour for this for this train to travel the next 90 kilometers. Okay, so we can say that T2 is equal to 2 minus 1, that is 1 hour. Right? So now we can equate it. So 1 is equal to 90 by x, or x is equal to 90 km per hour, because we have assumed that the speed as x km per hour. Once again, I'll explain. Initially, that first of all, the important thing is we have to understand the question, right? There is a 120 km track, and the train travels the initial 30 kilometers with a speed of 30 km per hour, and the next 90 kilometers with what speed it has to travel, so that the average speed of the entire trip is going to be 60 km per hour. That is the question. Okay, so first we calculated, using the data given, we calculated the total time taken for the journey, and from the next data we calculated the time taken for the initial 30 kilometers. Then the next 90 kilometers, we assume the speed as 8x km per hour, distance traveled is 90 kilometers, and time taken as t2. Since total time taken for the journey is 2 hours, and already 1 hour is gone in the first 30 kilometers, so remaining 1 hour it takes to travel the next 90 kilometers. So T2 is substituted as 1. So we get the value of speed in the next 90 kilometers as 90 km per hour. Okay, hope you understood it. So this is a very, very important type of question. Now let's do another one. A train travels at a speed of 60 km per hour for 0.52 hours, at 30 km per hour for the next 0.24 hours, and then at 70 km per hour for the next 0.71 hours. What is the average speed of the train? This is a very direct question. So what we have to calculate is, speed is given, time is given. So formula for average speed is total distance by total time taken, right? So let's say distance 1 is equal to speed into time, right? Speed is 60 into time is 0.52, that much kilometers. D2 is going to be 30 km per hour into 0.24, that much kilometers, and D3 is equal to 70 kilometer per hour multiplied by 0.71 hours, right? So that much kilometers we will get. So what we have done is we found out the total distance traveled, d1, d2 and d3. So now let's write the values of this. 60 into 0.52. Hope you understood why I have written that directly, because speed is equal to distance by time, or distance is equal to speed into time. That is the formula I have used here. So 60 into 0.52, you get 31.2 kilometers, and d2, 30 into 0.24, you get 7.2 kilometers, and d3 is equal to 70 into 0.71, you get 49.7 kilometers. So you are going to add these three, you get total distance. Total distance is equal to d1 plus d2 plus d3. So when you add these three, you're going to get 87.6 kilometers. You have to add it, okay? Now average speed. Average speed is equal to total distance by total time taken. Total distance traveled by the object by total time taken. So what is the total time? They have given the individual times. We can just add it. So 87.6 divided by 0.52 plus 0.24 plus 0.71. Okay. So you get 87.6 divided by 1.47 after you add all these things, and you get the value as 59.9 kilometer per hour. You have to pause the video and try the calculations. Okay. So basically important thing is to understand the steps first. Okay. Calculation is your choice, because it all depends on your calculation speeds. You can take your own time to do the calculation, but make sure you don't take too much time. Okay. But understand the steps. What are the steps we have followed? First, we calculated the total distance from the values given. They didn't give the distance directly. They just gave the speed and time. So we calculated the distance, and time is already given. So we just calculated the total distance by total time. So we got the average speed. Now, another thing which is related with the average speed and average velocity. A bus covers a distance of 250 km from Delhi to Jaipur towards west in 5 hours in the morning, and returns to Delhi in the evening covering the same distance of 250 km at the same time of 5 hours. Find the average speed and average velocity of the bus for the whole journey. So first let's calculate the average speed. Average speed is equal to total distance traveled by total time taken. So what is happening here? It is traveling a distance of 250 kilometers towards Delhi, right? Delhi to Jaipur, then coming back, it's traveling again another 250 kilometer. This is in kilometer divided by time taken. For Delhi to Jaipur, it took 5 hours. From Jaipur to Delhi, again 5 hours, right? So 250 by 250 plus 250, 500 divided by 5 plus 5, 10 kilometer per hour. So that's going to be 50 kilometer per hour. Now let's see what is going to be the average velocity. So average velocity is equal to total displacement, right? Total displacement. This is the difference between speed and velocity, right? The total displacement by total time taken. Understand the difference carefully. What is the total displacement? The bus started from Delhi to Jaipur, and in the evening it reached back to Delhi. That means the initial and final positions are the same, right? So total displacement is going to be 0 kilometers, because displacement is the shortest distance between its initial and final positions. So here the displacement is 0 because the bus comes back to Delhi. That means its starting point. So total time taken is 5 plus 5. Anything 0 divided by any number, you get the value as 0. Okay. So average speed of this vehicle is 0 km per hour, and average velocity of the vehicle average speed is 50 km per hour and average velocity is 0 km per hour. That means even when the object is traveling, it can have an average speed. It can have average speed and 0 velocity. Okay, that's very important. So here the bus has an average speed of 50 km per hour, but still it has an average velocity of 0 km per hour because its starting and ending positions are the same. So write down all these questions in your notebook and practice all these questions so that you get an idea of how to solve these types of questions, because this is very, very important in grade 9. Not only in grade 9, when you go to grade 11, a continuation of the same chapter is there. All the 9th grade syllabus chapters are repeating in grade 11 in higher level. Okay, we are going to learn in an extended way in grade 11. So it's very important to learn the methods. So in the next video, I'll be discussing about the equations of motion. It is one of the very, very, very important topic in physics. Okay, so don't miss that, because we are going to derive the equations of motion using mathematical methods and using graphical methods. Lot of questions comes from that part in our exams. Okay, so please subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon for the more updates when I upload new videos. So thank you for watching and see you in the next session with the equations of motion. Thank you and bye.